Welcome back, dear students. So, this is English second class for class 7th. Today, we are going to see a poem of chapter first in the Bazaars of Hyderabad, which is portrayed by Sarojini Naidu. We all are aware with Sarojini Naidu, she is known as the Nightingale of India. She was born. She was one of the most India's best known political figure and a freedom fighter closely involved with the Indian independence movement. She was one of the most talented poets known for the diversity of her writings, and she was a politician also. And this poem, in the Bazaars of Hyderabad, is a part of a Swadeshi movement because in this poem she is introducing different people with their different backgrounds and different kind of work. So she always motivated Indians to use the Swadeshi things, to boycott the foreign goods and to use the Indian goods. Why she have chosen only the market of Hyderabad? The reason is not only because she was born in the Hyderabad, she has uh, spent her childhood in the Hyderabad, but also she wanted to break down the difference between Hindus and Muslims because in the bazaars of Hyderabad both Hindus and Muslims came together to work. So this poem is going to be very interesting, students. In this poem you will be introduced with a new vocabulary. So without wasting our much time, let's begin our poem. In the bazaars of Hyderabad. This poem contains five stanzas with six lines each. So our first stanza is here. What do you sell, O ye merchants? Richly your wares are displayed. So in these first two lines, Sarojini Naidu is asking to the merchants. Merchants means the businessman or a vyapari. In Hindi, we call them vyapari. She is asking what you are displaying to the consumers to sale. Then what they replied, turbans of crimson and silver, tunics of purple brocade. Then in reply they said the turbans of crimson and silver. Turbans means a kind of hat worn by the people. In Hindi it is known as pagdiyan. So the turbans of crimson and silver. What is crimson? It is dark red. You can underline in your book and write above it the meaning of them. And tunics of purple brocades. What is tunics? Tunic is a type of a cloth which is designed for the women's. Brocade means it is a type of a fabric. And the mirror with panels of amber. Mirror with panels of amber means another thing they are selling were the mirrors with the border. Panels means the border of amber. Amber is a type of a metal. And daggers with handles of Z. So a dagger in Hindi. What is dagger? Khanjar. A type of equipment with handles of Z. Z is also a type of a hard stone that is usually green in color and it's used in making ornaments and jewelry. Then our next stanza is, what do you wait, O ye vendors? Then again, in first stanza, she is asking with the merchants and here she is asking with the vendors. Vendors are also a kind of the business carrying on the business or the vyapari. Then what they are replying? Saffron, lantern and rich. What is saffron? Saffron is kesar. Lentil means a type of pulses, especially the masoor ki dal which we call in Hindi, and rice. Then again, what do you grind, O ye maidens? Then again she is asking third one she is asking from the young girls that what you are grinding means kya piece rahi ho. Then in reply what they said, sandalwood, henna and spice. Sandalwood is chandan. Henna is mehendi. And spice we know very well, masale. What do you call oh ye paddlers? Then again she is asking with the paddlers, what do you are calling? Then what they replied, chessmen and ivory dish. Chessman is a type of equipment. In Hindi it is known as mohore. And ivory dish. It is uh, the it is made up of ivory. What is ivory? It is made up of the teeth of an elephant. Okay, students. Then coming to next stanza, what do you make, O ye goldsmiths? Then she is asking, nextly she is asking with the goldsmiths. Who are goldsmiths? Who do the work of gold, sunar. Then with reply, bracelet and anklet and ring. So these are the three things they are making. Then again they are replying, bells for the feet of blue pigeons, frill as a dragonfly's wing. So what is the meaning of these two lines? Bells for the feet of blue pigeons. We are making the bells which will be fitted in the feet of the blue pigeons, and they frill as a dragonfly's wing, which is so smooth as a dragonfly which came in the season of rainy season. Okay, we have seen the dragonflies. They are small insects, flying insects. They are very soft. So the the bells which are made for the blue pigeons are as smooth as a dragonfly's wings. And then guirlands of gold for the dancers, scabbard of gold for the kings. So grinders, what is the meaning of it? It is a type of equipment which is worn by the dancers in their breast. In Hindi, we can call it kamarband also. And scabbards of gold for the kings. Scabbards are the cover which is put on the swords, means mian, of gold for the kings. Then next stanza, what do you cry, O fruitman? That what you are calling, fruitsman. When what they are replying, catron, pomegranate and plum. So catron is a type of lemon, nimbu. Then pomegranate, anar, and plum is a bear. Nextly, coming to next, what do you play, O ye musicians? Nextly, she is asking with the musicians. Then they are replying sitar, sarangi and drum. All these three, sitar, sarangi and drum, is a type of instruments, musical instruments. Nextly, what do you chant, O magicians? Chant means, students, what you are saying or reciting, bolna. So what do you chant, O merchants? Then in return, in reply, they are saying spells for the aeons to come. This is the spells means mantra. They are saying or they are reciting the spells for coming generation. Then moving to our last stanza, listen carefully, students. What do you weave, O ye flower girls? Then at last she is asking with the flower girls that what you are weaving with tassels of azure and red. Then this is bright blue in color and red colors. Flowers of blue and red colors. What you are making? Then they answered, the crowns for the brow of a bridegroom, chaplets to garland his bed. It means that they are decorating the crowns for the bridegroom, दूल्हे के लिए. And nextly, sheets of white blossoms, new garland to perfume the sleep of the dead. And the sheets of white blooms, white flowers for the dead people, for their sleep or for their funerals. So in this line, the poetess is talking about two contrasting events in human life, which are there they that in the for the new beginning as well as the end. As when we get married, it is our new beginning of our life, and when we are dead, then it is the end of life. So in this poem, Sarojini Naidu introduced us with different people with their different backgrounds, with their works, and she want to address us that for that time, don't use the foreign goods, use the Indian goods only, because here you will get the more varieties, even the varieties which we get in this market, no where else we can get it. So here this is our the poem. This is very interesting. This was a very interesting poem, students. Hope you have understood. So nextly, coming to our exercise, page number 30. First of all, true false. So look into your book, students. Say whether the following statements are true or false about the bazaars of Hyderabad. So first one is, the merchants sell lentil and rice. False. What they are selling, students? They are selling the turbans of crimson and silver, tunics of purple brocade. So this is false. Second one, merchants are different from vendors. True. They are different. Third, the fruitmen sell fruits and vegetables. It is true. In fourth stanza we have seen it. Then fourth one, musicians play the guitar and the drum. True. E part, magicians wake the dead from sleep. No, it is false. Musicians don't wake the dead from sleep. Okay, students. Now coming to our next session, read these lines and answer the following questions. So here from here our question answers part starts. And if you are not having the book, then you can see the question answer from here and this one also. There are totally 5 questions in our this chapter, this poem, and 2 types of question answers are there. First of all, read to contest, reference to contest, and next answer in some brief that we can see. So let's begin our question answers. So our first question you can see from the book and from here also. What do you sell, O ye merchants? So first one is, the stanza that this line is taken from describes different things being sold. What are the things mentioned? So in first stanza, this we are talking about the first stanza. So our answer is, the things mentioned are turbans, tunics, mirrors and daggers. Second part, who is selling the wares? So the merchant is selling wares. Third, what are the colors and shades mentioned in this stanza? What do you think the poet has used these colors to describe the wares? So the colors mentioned are crimson, which is deep red, purple and silver. And the second part is, why do you think the poet has used these colors to describe the wares are? The poet has used these colors to set up the varieties before the customers. As we go to the market and wanted and asked to shopkeepers to show the varieties or show the colors. Okay. So to set up the varieties before the customers. Then our next stanza is, bells for the feet of blue pigeons, frail as a dragon's fly's wing, garlands of gold for the dancers, scabbard of gold for the king. The first question is, who is the speaker addressing in these lines? So in these lines, poetess Sarojini Naidu is addressing to goldsmith. Second, apart from a garland and scabbard, what else is made from gold? The bracelet, anklet, rings and bells are also made of gold. Third one, pick out a simile from the above lines. The frail as a dragonfly's wing. This line is a simile. Next one. Crowns for the brow of a bridegroom, chaplets to garland his bed, sheets of white blossoms new garnered to perfume the sleep of death. So first question is, what floral ornaments are woven for the bridegroom? So the floral ornaments for the bridegroom are crowns, chaplets to garland his bed. Second, what is the significance of the white blossoms? So the white blossoms signify eternal peace and heavenly happiness which good people got after death. Third one, the lines talk about two contrasting events in human life. What are these events? So in last stanza, we have studied about two opposite things, which are those. The two contrasting events reflected by these events are the marriage and death of an individual. Then now our third question is, what are the vendors, maidens and peddlers doing in the bazaar? So we are talking about three people. First of all, the vendor sell saffron, lentil and rice. Secondly, the maiden sell sandalwood, henna and spices. And third one, the peddlers go around the streets and sell jasmine and ivory discs. Then fourth question is, name the fruits and musical instruments displayed in the bazaar. So the citron, fruit, pomegranate and plum are the fruits. And next one is our music. So the sitar, sarangi and drum are the musical instruments displayed in the bazaars. And fifth one, mention two things that fascinate the poet about the bazaars of Hyderabad. What fascinates you when you go to a bazaar? So the two things that fascinate the poet about bazaars are musicians and flower girls. Second part, I like dresses, toys, showpieces and eatables when I go to bazaar. So these are our question answers, students. Now nextly, come to next page, page number 32. This is our exercise. Given below is a table with some examples for the different kind of imaginary that are found in the poem. Identify other examples of each kind of imaginary and write them in the table. So first of all, visual, which can be seen. For example, turbans of crimson and silver. Then what we are seeing in the poem, this is very simple work, students. This you can do yourself also. Tunics of purple brocade, mirror with of amber, daggers with handles, the jade. Okay. Then coming to next one, olfactory and gustatory. So freshly ground saffron. And other examples are sandalwood and powder, the smell of henna and spices, the fragrance of fresh flowers. Auditory, which we can hear, for example, playing of a drum. So the other examples are playing of sarangi, spells by the musicians, twinkle of anklets. Okay, students, this you can do from here. You can zoom it here. I think now it can be visible. You can pause the video and can do your work. Then coming to next one, second part of the same page. State the type of imaginary used in each of the following sentences. So here, in other sense, one word we have to give, or what we can say to these statements we have to write here. So first one, as I woke up, I inhaled the fresh fragrance of jasmine growing in my garden. So here it is the matter of a smell. Inhale the fresh fragrance. So it is olfactory. This is B part here. Here we can see. Okay, students, and come to next one. From my hotel room, I could hear the waves crashing against the rocks. So here we are hearing something. So here what will be the answer? Auditory. Last one. this one. C part, I was so hungry that I ate up the sweet, juicy patches I was saving for dinner. So this is a gestury, this one, third one. Then D part, I brought the fabric for its soft velvet texture. So this is, think about it student, this one, tactile. Then last one, the sun looked like a ball of fire in the sky. So we are seeing some visual impaction is there. So it is visual. First one, visual. Okay students, you can write from here, you can see. Then nextly, our exercise was remaining on page number 21 students. So our first part is follow the solved example to complete this cause and effect chart based on the events in the story. So here we will see, first of all, effect we will see. The king did not give the reward to anyone. So why? What was the cause? What was the reason? The king was not satisfied with the answers he received to each question. Then secondly, coming to next one, the king dressed in ordinary clothes left his horse and bodyguards behind and walked alone to the hermit's cottage. So what was the reason behind this? The hermit welcomed only common folk. That's why only the king disguised himself as an ordinary person or a common folk. Then third one, the king took the spade from the hermit and began digging. What was the reason? The hermit seemed to be tired. Okay students, that's why king has taken the spade from the hermit and began digging. The next one, the king fell asleep on the third stool of the hermit's cottage. So what was the reason? The king was tired after carrying the digging on the ground. And last one, the wanted man asked the king to forgive him. What was the reason? Because the wanted man had really came to kill the king. Okay? Then come to next exercise students on page number 22. This one, spot the note. In each row circle the word that is not a synonym of the first word. So teach, coach, confuse, instruct. So coach and instruct both are the synonym for the teach, but the confusion is not a synonym. So circle it. Then for peace, discord, harmony, non-violence. In this, discord. Restore, renew, bring back or damage. So here in this, damage. Important, necessary, travel, meaningful. So here, meaningful. Simple, decorative, plain or basic. So in this, decorative. Next one. Come on next page. Page number 23. This is very simple work students. You can do yourself also. Let us discuss it. Fill up the graphic organizer given below with at least 3 examples for each type of noun. One example in each category has been given. So first of all, noun type. First of all, common, which is the name given in common to every person or thing of the same group or kind. So first example is also given here, emperor, doctor, cat and bank. It is common. Then proper or exact name. Example, Ashoka and India, which is a proper name given to a country. Sunday, Republic Day. Then coming to next. Noun, number. Countable and uncountable. So here countable cannot be counted. Can be counted, sorry. Can be counted. Horse, eggs, keys and girl. Uncountable, which cannot be counted. For example, water, sugar, honesty, oil. Then secondly, singular and plural. Bodyguard, boy, cat, fan. And plural, bodyguards, boys, cats, fans. Here collective, council, team, band, committee. Noun, gender. First of all, feminine, queen, mother, pen, sister. Masculine, king, papa, brother, cock. Common, common noun. Counselor, doctor, teacher, student. Neuter, spade, table, pen, chair. Completed, students. Then coming to our next exercise, page number 24. Second part. Circle the ones that do not belong to the groups. Abstract noun. Wisdom, belief, imagination, library, childhood. So here, library. It does not belong to the abstract noun. Concrete noun. Tree, cloud, chocolate, perfume, bravery. So here, bravery. Collective nouns. Team, band, trousers, choir, committee. So here, trousers. Countable nouns. Cup, coffee, kettle, spoon, jar. So here, coffee. Uncountable nouns. Homework, music, thunder, sheep, water. Here, sheep. Nouns used only in plural form. Jeans, sunglasses, chapters, scissors, binoculars. So here, chapters. Nouns with the same singular and plural form. Sheep, deer, series, mouse, booth. So here, series. Compound nouns. Sunrise, laughter, swimming pool, software. So here, laughter. Gender specific nouns. Soldier, uncle, drake, goddess. So here, soldier. Then coming to next one. Next page. Page number 25. So in this is a chart representation of omission of articles where we don't have to use the articles. We can study from here when a common noun expresses a generic meaning. Then nextly, before names of languages we don't have to use any article. And before names of sports, before names of subject, before proper noun, and before abstract nouns and nouns that are named of material. So coming to our exercise number 3. Insert articles wherever necessary. Put a cross where an article is not required. So here, Einstein was dash great scientist. So here, A we have to put A, great scientist. He was also an philosopher and author. So here we will not use anything. Then he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1922. Then B part, although tigers are, here nothing will come, precious animals, the white tiger is the Makanpur sanctuary is known for its friendly nature. Then C part, not only is Mrs. Joseph popular as a teacher of mathematics, before subject we don't have to use any type of article at our school, but she is also admired for her heart of gold. Before any material, we abstract noun or before nouns that are names of materials. We cannot use articles. Then D part, January is the month when we have to wear heavy woolens and take the precautions to avoid and explore or to the cold. E part, we join a long line of people waiting outside the embassy to submit our applications for the visa to visit Canada. Then last one, silver is a precious metal used for making utensils, jewelry, coins and more. So these are our exercise. Then next one. So here our first chapter completed with story as well as with the poem. Then here this is the time for the revision test, students. So this is the test of 20 marks. There are 3 parts. Write, first of all, you have to write the word meaning of 5 marks. Then make sentences with following words, 5 marks each. And here are the question answers. These are very simple questions, students. What are the cause of the enmity? What were the 3 questions in the story? Name the main characters in the story. Was the king satisfied in the end? If yes, mention the answers. Okay, students? This work you have to do. This is your revision test. Then homework. Do word meaning and learn question answers. And you have to learn it and practice the revision test paper as well as maintain your copy. Thank you.